Briles is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by Author U and The Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, the chill is coming into the air, but hopefully not for your holiday sales. Right now, we're kind of in the heart of one of the highest selling seasons that usually people have through the year. But as my guest is going to say, if you were going to try to hit the Christmas bonanza, you should have been selling several months ago to the bookstores, but that's okay. We have a lot of great ideas. With me is Amy Collins. She's a book publishing expert. She is the brains behind New Shelves Books, and she also does a killer library program for authors to show you how to get your books into libraries. So I want to make sure that she talks about this as well as independent bookstores. But with that, let's just jump into the show, no matter what time. I mean, we're kind of getting close to mid-November, the first time we air the show. But the reality is that there are holidays all year long. And what Amy and I want to really kiss on, and is really don't close the door on you that maybe you miss the bookstore and the Christmas sales, because there are so many more opportunities. Amy, welcome back to Author U, your guide to book publishing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Judith. You know that I absolutely adore chatting with and talking to your group. I think you have some of the savviest and smartest authors around.
Oh, well, there's a star in our sky. There's a star in our sky. All right. So, Amy, Christmas is, for some, if they're just listening to this in November next month, which is certainly a big selling time. But so what do you do to really get some sparkle in your sales right now and take advantage of everyone in a buy spirit?
Now, there's still lots you can do. Judith is right, guys, when she says that if you wanted to be on the tables, if you want to be in the stocking stuffer tables at your local supermarket or at your local bookstore, those decisions were made long ago. There are decisions and budgets and committees that all get taken into account when we start talking about the winter holidays. And most of those committees have met, the decisions have been made, and the money has been spent. It's not that they don't love your book and don't want to put you on the shelf for Christmas, but their Christmas money, I'm afraid, was probably spent last August or September. And all of the money they have left has to get them through the rest of the year to keep the bestsellers on the shelf. So, but don't despair. The fact is that if you have written a book about Santa, there's always next Christmas. And what you need to do now is start planning for July. It's not too early for those of you with actual holiday books, for books that actually focus on the winter holidays, and you want to be considered seriously at the major chains. I'm talking about Walmart and Costco and Target. The thing about those major chains, and it's a pipe dream for a lot of you, but it's a realistic goal for some others of you. If it's a realistic goal for you, February is about when you should start putting your plan together, your marketing plan, and your kits together. February is right around the corner, guys. You only have 90 days to get ready to start pitching for next Christmas. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
don't be discouraged, guys, if you miss this Christmas. You only have 3 months to get ready to start pitching next Christmas. Now, that's for the big supermarkets. That's if you want to be in Kroger, as I said, or Target. But, they start taking a look really early, and they make their final decisions by August. So it is too late for some of the stores for Christmas, but not for others. There's a lot that you guys can still do. You can do it online. You can do it in different sorts of retailers. While the big chains are definitely done for the year, there's a lot of independents that still have a lot of room left. Now, it's easier to get into 600 Barnes & Nobles. Once Barnes & Noble says yes to you, they take care of everything to get you into 600 Barnes & Nobles. It's a lot more time consuming to get 600 independent retailers to say yes to. So here's a few tips I have for you. Maybe your book is perfect for the holiday season and you missed the bookstore window and they're not going to be, and it's too much trouble to get into all the independents. But maybe there's a large regional chain of dry cleaners that wouldn't mind, that you can pitch and see if you can get on all of their shelves, all of their front counters for the Christmas season. Maybe there's a large and I know that there's a 200, maybe there's a franchise, an oil change franchise or a Z-Bart franchise in your area. And the franchise owner owns 130 franchise stores, and you can talk to them about maybe doing a front of door or a little cardboard display and get into all of those different auto stores or, as I said, pet stores. There are regional chains that maybe don't focus on books that would absolutely love the extra money that would come from you presenting your book to them for this holiday season. It's a long shot, but it's worth the hour of your life that it would take to pick up the phone and call some of their buyer offices and see if they're still open to the idea. Now, over the next hour, Judith and I have a lot of suggestions about what you can do for this holiday and other holidays. But my first advice, Judith, is to think outside of the book market. Start looking at bakeries, Christmas, florist shops. Take a look outside of the book market and see if you can get in for the holidays. Well, what about you? Go ahead, Judith.
Let me just say that when I think about a lot of a florist, there's certainly traditional florists, but just about every good-sized grocery store has a floral department right now. And, if your book might have a little fit that would tie into someone picking up a bouquet of flowers or a plant, it would be worthwhile to pitch. And those individuals who run their own little departments and might be able to make that decision very quickly. So that, I just wanted to jump in and add.
Okay, yeah. So that think outside of the book world. And the other advice I have for you for this Christmas is now is the perfect time to start maximizing your online sales. And you can do that with targeted Facebook ads, with boosted posts. You can do it by taking a look. If you've written a children's book that's perfect for the Christmas holidays, why not start targeting the same people who are shopping for Elf on the Shelf and the other, Polar Express, key children's titles for the holiday season by hitching your wagon to their star. Start advertising to their market, and doing this online is not difficult. It is not too late. Online sales, a report came out recently that really shocked me, Judith. Mm-hmm. I was very surprised to find out that according to Verso Digital and a report that they did and a study they did with over 2,000 book purchases over the course of a 2-month period, book purchasers that they followed, Amazon.com it used to be bigger, but Amazon.com is responsible in North America for 41% of the new book purchases. 41% of print sales happen through Amazon.com. I don't know about you. I thought that was a bigger number.
Well, last time I heard it, it was closer to 70, and
it was.
Well, Amy, but wait a minute. I just had dinner with one of the VPs, the senior VP at Knopf, and he said 70%. And so I wonder if there's a difference between all book sales versus new book sales.
Yes, absolutely. New book sales and Knopf. And the number used to be 70%. That is absolutely true. But in 2016, that number has gone down, according to recent studies. New book sales, and perhaps for the large publishers, new book sales, print sales we're talking about, not ebooks. If you factor in ebooks, new book sales for ebooks and print books, they're 69%. So the 70% is right. That is absolutely right if you factor in ebooks. But print book sales, the ones you really want to focus on for gift giving season and for children's book and for the holiday, Amazon is 41%. So I would suggest that is perfectly reasonable to start promoting your book right now to the holiday season to Amazon. But don't forget the other online and brick and mortar ventures for books like yours.
Well, I have another, I'm going to throw in another idea here, and I know we're like 2 minutes before our first break, but since you're talking about specials and going out and doing the boosted ad of either a boost or actually pulling down an ad, or first of all, I'd start with my own email list. If you've got a special book and you want to think about, okay, so if I sold it on Amazon or if I sold it through a bookstore, I'm lucky to get half of what the retail price is, correct? Amy?
Yes, less than half.
All right, so let's say I've got a $20 book. And and I'm telling you, if I had a $20 book, I know Amazon's paying me $9. So if I do that, what if I put out a special, did a special, because the holiday spirit's in me, and offer my book at 50% off to all my fans and friends and suggest it for holiday gifting and even throw in free shipping with it.
I love it.
Media mail, and getting it off and put a window on it. They can't get this in perpetuity. Bring them in on your website, have a special slot there, and shoot. And actually, as I'm saying that, I'm making a note. Do this tomorrow, Judith. And everyone, please make sure that if you're going to do something like this, where you're going to be sending and doing your own shipping, so to speak, that you put in a slip and ask them, make a special customized link to your Amazon page to please go post a review.
And what about, Judith, 2 weeks from now? I know we only have 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
What about calling up other people you know with their lists and asking them to promote your book for the holidays on their list, and you will promote their book to your list 2 weeks later? What about expanding your list by trading with some other people?
I love this idea. Okay, Amy, I'll do yours. You can do mine.
You got it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. It's Judith Briles with Amy Collins today. We're talking about holiday sales and actually sales all year round. It's Author You, your guide to publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Is there a book in you or another? Author You will show you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you'll find a supportive and brainstorming community that's connected and creative no matter where you live. Author U brings in national experts for its book camps and annual author extravaganza held each May. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through Author U's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. The Resource, its online book publishing news magazine, is content heavy and it's free. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, Author U is for you. If you're a hobbyist or a casual author, it's not. Join Author U today through its website at authoru.org. Follow Author U on Twitter at AuthorU and on Facebook at Author U, where timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted daily. Author U, where the author goes to become seriously successful.
First impressions are everything in the world of book publishing. Whether your book is an ebook, a print version, or both, your book cover needs to pop, sizzle, and sparkle to immediately capture the attention of your audience. And your book's interior needs to be just as dynamic and reflect the professionalism your readers demand. Nick Sellinger of NZ Graphics has won numerous national and international book awards for his cover designs and interior layouts. With over 20 years of experience in graphic design, he knows what it takes to create award-winning books and the many promotional pieces that authors need, such as posters, banners, postcards, one-sheets, business cards, logos, and more. Visit ncgraphics.com and see what authors and publishers have to say about their award-winning books and how NZ Graphics can make your book the success it was meant to be. That's nzgraphics.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, as we took our break, Amy Collins and I were having kind of a love fest of ideas of how we're going to cross-promote each other's books in a holiday pitch. And then we're going to rope in our other cronies. So, this is a way that you could think about making it a basket of goodies for you if any of you are interested in doing this. I mean, you may have friends who do mystery or fantasy or sci-fi or how-tos or nutrition, fill in the blank. And maybe collectively, you could reach out with all of you, all your fans, and each week do a push-up. And it would be great. So we're in good shape. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's another good idea. I love that, Judith.
The basket of goodies. I love it too. All right. So with that said, we are really exploring that it's most likely it's too late. Although when I talked to Amy a week or two ago about this topic, I told her out of the blue, I had a call from the biggest Barnes & Noble here in Colorado saying, hey, how would you like to do a special day featuring a lot of the authors you've worked with? And of course, it didn't take me long to say, what day do I get to choose? And we're going right in the heart of holiday season, and we're taking one solid day that I will be featuring every 90 minutes two of the authors I had the pleasure of working with this past year on their books to really pull down. And, this is the Christmas time is a high foot traffic area in a lot of bookstores. At least that's my experience. And then, Amy, you might want to add to that.
Yes, the high traffic and high foot store, but it's one of the few times a year that you can really trust people to be browsing. Mm-hmm. Judith, 10 years ago, people were browsing in bookstores for 47 minutes, I think. The Critical Path group did a study and showed, back when Borders was open, if you remember them, mm-hmm. Critical Path did a study and determined that the average shopper hung out in bookstores for a 47-minute session. That was on average, how much time they spend in a bookstore. That's gone way down over the years, way down. But at Christmas time, you can still trust the people who are more people than ever are in all locations, but they're spending more time in their browsing.
Well, I'm a big believer of books, and I mean, I love books for gifts. And I actually have a few Barnes & Noble gift cards. So I'm going to do some shopping in the store while I'm there. And what's very cool is they have these book fairs. So no matter where in the country you live, you might want to touch base with what's called the CRM in any Barnes & Noble. That's the Community Relations Manager. And see if they have any special days that feature local authors. And they do it under this book fair banner. And they actually will make a donation back to your preferred nonprofit. So.
That actually gets me thinking, though, Judith. Gift cards, gift certificates. Mm-hmm. Every Christmas, I never know what to get Uncle John. I mean, I'm all about the gift cards and the gift certificates, especially, and Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, IndieBound. These gift cards are going into stockings everywhere. Maybe approaching bookstores and saying, guys, I know that I've already passed the limit for Christmas, but what do you have open for January? Because these guys are all my Uncle John and everyone gets these gift cards for Christmas, and they go shopping in January, both online and brick and mortar. Mm-hmm. It's not a holiday per mm-hmm. se, but it's a wonderful way to grab a lot of holiday cash.
It is. But also, let's Amy, let's kiss the other holidays.
Let's do that. Let's kiss Christmas goodbye and start smooching with the next season. Because guys, it's not too late to be thinking about spring.
Yeah.
Now is the perfect time to be positioning yourself.
Yeah, and there's also things you can do. It's like Amy knew that I have every fall I do an author tea, celebrating the authors. We had over 120 people that showed up at my house last Saturday between 1 and 4. Now everyone knows I feed people, so there was a spread, but it was fascinating to see the array. There was 20 authors here, the array of what they do, and one woman who sold out of her books very quickly had a brand new fiction book called The Bystander. The Bystander was a mystery thriller. She has a huge background experience in Saudi Arabia with what she did with the State Department and a variety of things. And she was serving what's called Saudi champagne. I'd never heard of Saudi champagne, but basically it's apple juice and Perrier water. And
it's apple juice with what?
Perrier.
Oh, okay.
And people were sucking it down. And so, it just reminds me that no matter where you are, have something available for people to munch on or to sip on. And almost any venue, if you're on site, will allow you to bring in. So, I've always called in things when I've done book signings in stores. I've brought in cookies and treats and things like that, and they've never batted an eye. So we just found that the authors who had nibbles and goodies and things to serve seem to have more people. Maybe you're 47 minutes in the bookstore, Amy, hanging around. And when people hang around, you as the author get to talk a little bit about your book. Something intriguing, something exciting. One of my clients who sold 10,000 books, never really through the bookstores. She sold them over a 3-year period from May through September. And all she did is she did craft shows. And she showed up with her cookbook and an appetizer. And people ate their way through and bought the book. So be creative, people.
And for those of you who are thinking big, for those of you who are saying, well, I want to be in 300 stores. Well, yeah, so do I. I'd also like to be 111 pounds. There's lots of things I want. Pay attention to what Judith's talking about. You can actually, by narrowing in on one location or 2 locations, if you do it smartly, you can sell hundreds and hundreds of your books from one location in the course of a few weekends over the holiday season. You don't need to go broad. Sometimes you need to go deep. And just, Judith, I know you've had that experience in the past.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. I went very deep. You go vertical, you figure out what your niche is, and you go deep down vertical in it, and then you start going horizontal. Well, what else is attached onto this environment that can hook it up? Amy, I had another idea on gift certificates. Why not go out to all your fans and offer gift certificates for you, for the author, or their books that they could give out? And it could be, you may have other products or other services besides just your book that you could offer. Are you all thinking about doing something like that?
I am now.
Oh, oh, good. Right. So glad to have you on, that I can help you out, Amy.
Well, thanks.
All right. So January, and we have these traditional holidays. You've got, January. A lot of times, that people who did 12 Nights of Christmas, you could actually come in on that, and tail end that. You could come in, and February, of course, there's always Valentine's and anything relationship oriented.
Yeah, and Martin Luther King, if anyone's written anything historical, we've got President's Day, so anything U.S. history related, Martin Luther King, there's some wonderful St. Patrick's Day in March. Don't forget the smaller holidays. Go to your local bookstore now. Do it before Thanksgiving. Okay. If you take nothing else from our conversation with Judith, if you take nothing else, I want you guys to hear this. Do not approach a retailer between December 1st and December 28th. Do not approach them. Do not email them. Do not call them. Please, for the love of all that's holy, leave them alone. It won't go well. I promise. It won't go well. You've got a couple weeks now, but when Judith and I are talking about St. Patrick's Day, when we're talking about Mother's Day, when we're talking about Easter, you really got to be thinking more like the Feast of the Epiphany. Be thinking about how you're going to approach them January 6th, but it's not too late. You've got to put your materials together. You only have a few weeks to put a flyer together because you want to look professional. So use this time wisely and approach them in early January and tell them about your ideas and tell them that maybe they should do a fantastic Easter display. Let's say you've written a New Age or metaphysical book. Maybe they want to do a Beltane instead of Easter. Maybe they want to do a display for, the spring goddess season. Come to them with your ideas and tell them that your book is just one of many that they could put on a table. They love ideas. You can approach them, but they don't love it on December 23rd. They're a little busy.
Yep, and here's another idea before we get to our next break, but this is November. Hard to believe, but it's November. And this is a lot of times a lot of people will start softening up a little bit. It's time to be grateful and to express gratitude. Why don't you just get a postcard? And I hope you have your book covers on postcards, and send it to friendly merchants and bookstores, and just give them kudos for all the work. And you're going to be in touch with them after the first of the year and talk about doing some events with them. And
I love that. Who doesn't love to be thanked and appreciated? You taught me that, Judith.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you want to do. Just get your foot in the door. I think that's what the power is. And what I love about postcards, I'm a huge believer in marketing with postcards, is that people hold on to them and they don't have to open an envelope to see what's inside. And with that, I'm going to say, we're going to be right back. It's Author You, your guide to book publishing. Amy Collins and I are brainstorming ideas for you in your book marketing success.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Want to publish like a pro today? Well, then take a look at Ingram Spark, the only publishing platform that offers print and ebook services through a single source. Upload, edit, and manage titles all in one place. Take more control of printing costs with print on demand, and reach even more readers through one of the world's most extensive distribution networks. Built by independent publishers for independent publishers, Ingram Spark has everything you need to maximize your book's potential: color printing, ebook distribution, print on demand, global reach, and more. Start publishing with Ingram Spark today and see just how far your titles will go tomorrow. That's ingramspark.com.
Many of us have dreamed of writing a book.
Some of us even have.
Then the hard work starts.
You'll need an editor.
Who will design the cover or typeset the pages?
Who will format the ebook?
If you're a business owner, consultant, or coach with a serious message and expertise to share, the team of experts at 1106 Design can guide you through the maze.
They've helped more than 1,000 authors create top-quality books and avoid the not-so-reputable self-publishing companies.
Learn more at 1106design.com.
Then call Michelle at 602-866-3226. 1106 Design.
When Ned Thompson and Harry Shore started Thompson Shore in 1972, they believed employees with great character would make up the best company. They were right. They hired people who were not only experts in bookmaking, but who were obsessed with quality and delivering exceptional customer service. Almost 40 years later, Thompson Shore remains a 100% employee-owned company. Ned and Harry knew that successful customer projects are a direct result of empowered employees. We specialize in all books for large and small publishers. Creating beautiful and well-made books, we're dedicated to pleasing our customers by making the experience a good one from start to finish. The personal touch we have with our customers allows us to be innovative in solving their most difficult challenges. Our platform also ensures that we can remain flexible to meet our customers' unique needs and expectations. Our marketing kit can create buzz for your title, enhancing the promotion of your book during infancy. When you need to test the market to gauge your future sales, we can provide digitally printed books that will transition seamlessly into a larger offset run. From ebook to hard copy to delivery, our skillful customer service teams are at the ready to answer your most pressing question. At Thompson Shore, we know that making the highest quality books requires more than just best technologies. It requires superior customer service, professionalism to the trade, and commitment to environmental and social values. With these standards of excellence in place, you can be sure that we will always help you put your best book forward.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
So with talking about this show, which is all about holiday sales, we don't want you to think it's too late for Christmas, because there are variations that you can do. And a lot of times it's going to be, as Amy said at the top of the hour, it's going to be outside the traditional bookstore. It's going to be going to small retail places. It could be going to friends. It could be maybe doing a series of co-ops with other cronies who are authors, and you gather all your pals together underneath someone's house who is the right place, and kind of have an event like I do with the author tea every fall. Mm-hmm. But there's different things that you can do with that problem. So we don't want to think it's definitely not too late to do. And remember, winter does go. We are still in fall. Winter has not hit yet. And we are still in fall. And winter does go through March. So you got a lot of space in here. And so I'm going to make a suggestion to everyone that if you haven't gone in and like Google weird or bizarre holidays, I'm going to suggest you do that, because that's going to be helpful to you to come up and maybe trigger some ideas for future holidays. Or go to Chase's calendar and see about holidays in there. So, Amy, let me ask you this, and we should definitely, before we leave the show, let's come back and talk about Amazon and their marketing ads and some of their campaigns.
Because, it's perfect for the holidays. Amazon is definitely a place you need to go. So, yes, we should talk about that before we hang up.
So we'll do that. Well, let's talk about, so what are the next holidays that we really should be shooting for? I mean, you mentioned St. Patty's Day. You've got the President's Holiday. You certainly, maybe we need to say this. If you really want to get into the bookstores, I would sure, if you're thinking of Mom's Day, you want to start getting ready to pound for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now.
St. Patrick's Day is not a great gift-giving holiday. So I was being a little tongue-in-cheek about that. But you can, if you've written a Celtic novel, well, then suggest to your bookstore that maybe around St. Patrick's Day they want to do, a Celtic book display that you can, because browsers are in there all the time. Valentine's Day is what I'd be focusing on right now. It's a little too late for Christmas, as we said, although there's lots you can still do, and we'll get back to that. To strike where you'll do the most good, start putting together your Valentine's Day ideas right now. Start putting together Easter ideas, especially if you're a children's book author. If you're a children's book author or a YA author, books are an amazing and a huge market right now for the Easter. I don't know, Judith, when I was growing up, Easter was not a gift-giving occasion. We got some really cheap chocolate and some horrible tasting jelly beans with some plastic, probably carcinogenic, shredded Dayglow grass, and we called it a day.
Well, we had
But
Easter.
now,
Yeah, and we sometimes I put get my and I remember my son told me, the Easter Bunny doesn't bring underwear. Don't put underwear on our Easter.
no, as my nephew always tells me, clothing is not gifts. He said they're not presents. Clothes are not presents. But Easter has become a gift-giving holiday. Mother's Day is a terrific time for novelists. It is not a great time for nonfiction authors. Okay, guys, tidbit number 2. If you've written a self-help book about how to get over your bad parenting, perhaps not a great Mother's Day gift. If you've written most self-help, most nonfiction books are not great for Mother's Day or Father's Day. Think novels. Think, for your Father's Day, think World War II, think thrillers, think suspense. For Mother's Day, think romance, think, general fiction. I'm not saying that your books aren't great for mothers and fathers. I'm saying most people don't think of, how to get over your traumatic childhood books is great for Mother's and Father's Day.
Mhm.
However, nonfiction how-to is terrific for graduation.
Mhm.
Absolutely terrific. Nora, I've got a wonderful friend who wrote the Freshman Survival Guide. She sells tens of thousands of copies of the Freshman Survival Guide. Nora, shout out to you every graduation season. But she also sells them in August and back to school time. So start thinking about gift-giving occasions. Now, gifts are given throughout the year for birthdays, but they're also given for religious holidays. Take a look at the Jewish calendar. Take a look at the Judeo-Christian calendar. Take a look at the Muslim calendar. See what sort of wonderful gift-giving opportunities are available. Now is the time to be looking to spring.
Mhm. And also not just those holiday things, but I think it's a good idea to think about events. That there could be, like you mentioning, a school. School's not a holiday, but it's an event. There's graduation, it's an event. And that there are things that will come in with that you can come in and support with your Gary. And that you have one of my favorite stories has always been about the South Beach Diet book, where you see in January, what kind of books are you going to see coming out? I'll tell you, you're going to see a boatload of new diet books because everyone's been purging during December and from Thanksgiving on. And secondly, you're going to see probably personal finance books. A lot of those seem to come out in the January timeframe. Well, the publisher of South Beach Diet decided not to publish in January. They held it till May. And they decided not to put a clinical type of cover on it. They wanted to put something softer, but maybe a little romance in it. And the book became bestseller. Just about 1,300 copies were sold this week. And yet, because there was no competition in the cookbook diet arena, they nailed the New York Times for their strategy. In that. All right. So, yeah, Amy, I wanted to ask you about, because this came up and it's really not holiday. Well, it deals with big sales, but it really came up with a client I was talking to, that he was talking to actually a well-known literary agent that was proposing that he cough up over $100,000 to go into one of these programs where they were going to go all over the country and buy books. To guess do what? For New York. And I said, over my dead body, are you
Oh, thank you. I had the same talk with someone today. It's so weird that you're bringing this up. It's creepy. I just had this conversation with someone today.
It's just and what she proposed to him is that she knows a really small, well-respected publishing company in Texas, which is one of the hybrid self-published things, that we can print all these books from. So bloody well she's going to get a piece of the action here, and then they're going to move them all over the country. And I thought, oh my God, what a scam! So people, everyone here, don't get involved in these. Front the money. We're going to go buy books, and you're going to get on the New York Times. You're going to get nailed on it.
Do you hear that, Mr. Author? And I know you know who I'm talking about. We were just talking about this 2 hours ago. I just got a call from someone who wanted to know what he could do to drive 15 or 20 sales through bookstores all across the country to try and get on these bestseller lists. And I said, the entire industry has spent their entire lives and all of their money and to make sure that they stop tricks like that. Do not play games like that, guys.
Right. And the other thing is, Amy knows I come from this, that if you can figure out your alternative sources of selling books, which is, most of my books have been sold outside of the bookstore chain, you can net far more money. You're still going to have to work to do it. I mean, there's work to do, but you can make it. And then that extra money you can use to hire someone to support you, like Amy has someone who helped her send out her books when people do the direct buy.
All right. Well, that's exactly it. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about some catalog ideas here before we take the next break. And then I would love to get into some of the tools with Amazon marketing to push the holiday sales, as well as maybe some Facebook ads. Can we do that?
Yeah. Well, Judith, I was just telling you that Verso Digital came out with a new study to show where people are reading new books, where they're hearing about new books. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of surprising insights at this. It's called Verso Digital again, and they came out with this study. And I was flabbergasted to find out that it's just over 80% of readers that they make their next new book decisions based on personal recommendations. Now, okay, I get that. That makes sense. That falls in line with what I would have expected. And again, these percentages don't add up to 100 because these readers were saying, all the different ways that they decide on next new books. But I was absolutely flabbergasted to find out that over 40% of them will decide to buy a new book or take a chance on a new author based on stumbling across the book on either an online or an in-print, what they were calling catalogs. By searching for a particular genre, they'll stumble across another book while browsing. Judith, you and I are of an age where we think of browsing on the shelves only. And
oh, no.
I know we've got to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I want to talk about how you can maximize catalogs and online catalogs to get and to find new readers who are browsing there.
All right, so we're going to go browsing on the internet. We're going to be right back. It's Author You, your guide to book publishing. Amy Collins is with me today.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and a guide to partner with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand, and is a financial success, a bestseller. It's your choice. You choose. You need the book shepherd. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You don't need problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and the chaos. At times, she's had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher or by a publishing service provider or sometimes even the author themselves. Judith Briles is the book shepherd if you want to create a book with no regrets. Give her a call today. 303-885-2207. That's 303-885-2207. Or email her at judith@briles.com. By the way, Briles is spelled B-R-I-L-E-S. Follow Judith on Twitter at My Book Shepherd and on Facebook at The Book Shepherd.
One of the most important decisions you will ever make is your choice for printing your book. You are choosing a company which will be responsible for guiding you through the process and printing your book at a level of quality and detail that embraces your personal and creative needs. You want to choose a company that when your book finally arrives, you are delighted and ready to move on to the next level, and one that is customer focused. Choose King Printing Company and Addy Books to be that company that brings you to the next level. Go to kingprinting.com or call 978-458-2345 and ask for Tom Campbell.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so we've been talking different ideas for holidays, really going outside of the bookstore, but also hopefully getting you re-inspired and not be disappointed if you're not, in the midst of all the snowflakes coming down, because there's just so many other things that you can do. And one of the things that we really wanted to spend some time on, which is really an important element, since Amazon will be doing God knows how much money between now and December 31st, actually January 31st, because it's going to tap onto all the gift cards people got after the holidays, that how can you get maybe some of your share of here? So that one of the ways is taking advantage of the Amazon marketing services. And so Amy kind of keeps track of all this. So Amy, let's jump in.
For those of you who have been, deciding or keeping some of your marketing money back so you can go nuts over the holidays, Amazon.com and bidding on keywords through what's called sponsored searches is a very, very good use of your money. Another good use of your money, if you do it right, are Facebook ads. But here's some hints. Now, I can't in the next 12 minutes teach you an entire class on Facebook ads and on Amazon ads, but here's some things to keep in mind. Short ad runs, 3 to 5 days, preferably 3. 3 days is great. Do a 3-day campaign, just empty your clip. Get as many bullets out of the clip as you can in those 3 days. That's where you spend your money. You focus, because that's when people are online. Black Monday is when everyone's shopping online. That is a perfect time to go nuts with both your Facebook and with your Amazon ads. Now, you can get some of these sponsored searches on Amazon through ams.amazon.com. Amazon.com, the AMS is, and I'll spell it out for you. AMS, as in Apple Mary Sam, .amazon.com. AMS stands for Amazon Marketing Services, allows you to when somebody is typing in Vince Flynn and someone's typing in Jack Reacher and someone is typing in Lee Child, it allows them to stumble across your book as well. This is the perfect time to really go nuts with your keyword search optimization. And again, I can't, Judith, I know through Author you do You offer some classes and some guidance on how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend for those of you who don't know how to do this, there's a lot of tutorials online. Get a hold of Judith through AuthorU. We'll help you out. But the other thing is Facebook ads. Focusing in on your demographic for a 3 to 5 day period. People are online, they're shopping, but use their online shopping practices to get in and to get in front of them during this gift giving season.
Okay, so they have multiple options. I mean, I think that you and I have discussed this before, that we really felt that the higher end really wasn't worth the money. Have you changed your mind on that?
No, you mean the higher end. Tell me what you mean.
Well, there was one program for like $1,500.
Oh, okay. Yes. No. I am talking specifically about sponsored searches. It is the main program that we're talking about. If you go to ams.amazon.com, the very first thing they'll offer you is sponsored searches, where, Judith, you've got a book called Snappy, Sassy, Salty.
Right.
And if I were in charge of your book, because it's a wonderful book to give to all the authors in your life for Christmas,
mm-hmm.
I'd be putting the keywords out there: Bird by Anne Lamott, On Writing, Stephen King. The keywords that I would be finding would be all the people who are buying books, all those wonderful Pema Chodron. Go nuts for all of the artistic, lovely authors out there, all those gift books that people are shopping for. When someone types in Anne Lamott or Bird by Bird, I want Judith's Snappy, Sassy, Salty book to fly to the top of that search engine. And the way to do that is to do that right now while they're shopping. So, start the day before Thanksgiving, run it in short 3-day bursts throughout the holiday season, and see what kind of sales you can make.
Well, I think that sounds like a great idea. So, and that's really, Snappy, Sassy, Salty is designed as a gift book. It looks like a gift book.
It is, and it's perfect for authors.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, I should be promoting your book to my email list. And yes, you should be actually talking to bookstores now about Mother's Day for Snappy, Sassy, Salty. It actually is a great book for Mother's Day. Maybe not at bookstores everywhere, but stationery stores, wonderful little charming gift stores. It's a perfect book for the spring for people who want to rejuvenate their writing. November is, what is it called? NaMo. It's, November writing.
Oh, Nano.
Nano, excuse me.
Yeah.
Start thinking about getting your book into bookstore displays. Start approaching them in August so that your book is across the country in display. Suggest to all the bookstores in Denver at the tattered cover that they need a Nano table and that your book should be on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now is the time to be planning for 2018, guys. It's not over. You're not too late. You haven't missed anything. All that's happening right now is that if Judith, have you ever heard the advice, when's the best time to plant a tree?
In the beginning. Right now?
The best time the best time ever to plant a tree is 20 years ago. But the second best time to plant a tree is today. So it's the same thing with your book. The best time to prepare your book for Christmas was last July. But the second best time to prepare your book for Christmas is right now for next Christmas. There is no third option. So don't be discouraged, guys. Just move forward with what we now know. Now is the time to be pitching for spring. Start preparing your book for next back to school and next fall and next Christmas. Now's the time to put your plan together. 2018 is not too late. You're actually in just the right amount of time. Just the right time.
Which would be, which there's no time better than the right time. So that's where we're at, which I think is very cool. So Amazon Marketing Services, everyone, and go in, and it's really very simple to follow on your setup and loading up what you need, because your book is already on Amazon. So, you don't have to redo something. And the really secret is finding the keywords that will be your cross promoter. And I think maybe that's where people are going to have to be creative here.
Well, and So let's talk a little bit about holiday keywords. If you're a children's book author, I want you to go find all the best-selling books that are selling right now in your genre. If you don't know what they are, you really should. If you've written a novel, who are the dozen authors that are sitting on the bedside table and on the Kindles of your potential readers? What are their names? What are their best-selling books? These are not hard to find out, guys. You know who your readers are. Go find out who they're reading. Those are great starters for keywords. If your authors, Judith, right now, if all your authors, if what they're reading is Anne Lamott, and they're reading Anna Quinlan, and they're reading Molly Quinn, and they're reading Joel Friedlander's books, and they're reading John Kramer, that's a great starter list. And all you need to do, guys, I'm going to send you to a website. You just take those author names to yazif.com. Yazif. Yellow, Apple, Sam, Indigo, Violet.com. Go to yazif.com and start typing in these author names, and you will find the names of hundreds, if not thousands, of books that you can use as keywords offered up on yazif.com.
Well, there you go, which is a great idea. And a few really know about Yazif, so that's Y as in yellow, A as in apple, S as in Sam, I as in igloo, and V as in Victor. Did I get it right?
Yes, you got it right.
All right.
It's a great site, and it allows you to find all sorts of competing and comparable titles that you can then use as keywords and start punching in.
That's right. So you're just going to copy and you're going to paste it in, because as Amy says, what's going to happen is if the search is done and someone is searching for that author or that title, your book will land on the page. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's exactly how it works.
Okay. So the visual is they're shopping, because, I scroll down, I check out stuff, and you'll see a whole bunch of little other book covers in there. If you've got a great cover, which we want you to have, and it pops up, you just may have a sale and a new fan. All right. With that, Amy, we're at our last minute. How do people get a hold of you?
Well, if they want help with Amazon marketing, or if they need help with the spring holiday sales, there's very little that I can do for Christmas at this point. But if they want help, you can always reach me on newshelves.com. New as in not old, shelves, what you put books on, .com. My email is amy@newshelves.com. And I am, I do a lot of work with Author U and with Judith, and get, anything I can do to help an Author U or a Judith Briles client or an Author U member, I'd be so honored. So please reach out to newshelves.com. I would be very happy to help where I can.
All right. And with that, we're going to wish you all have a great, happy writing, happy publishing. We'll be with you next week. This is Judith Briles.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each week,